Hello everyone. Just thought I haven't really been on live stream much lately because I've actually been doing a little bit of building and been sorting out a bathroom because I've got to dismantle the one that's inside our shed, and yeah, a little bit of that just wears me out. It's just unreal. So g'day Sophie Dad, thank you very much for saying g'day, calling in. Happy Father's Day. So yeah, well, if it's, I'll just did a impromptu thing, so I don't expect like many people to turn up, but if they do, then please feel free just to chuck in whatever in the messages, because I wasn't planning anything or whatever. So this is just a discussion. I don't know. So you guys find some direction and just see whatever there is, because I know there's been a few things happen this last week. The new name of the blockchain, that sort of stuff, and there's all sorts of stuff, but I don't know how to take a lot of that, but I know it just is what it is, and you just got to go with it. I don't know, like, what do you do? It's just, yeah. Rev Token's doing good. I had Daniel on here, I don't know, 2 weeks ago or something like that, from Rev Token, because obviously I have a bit to do with Rev Token. I have to look up not that it's hard for me to do it, but I have to look at the chart again, because I think that the only sells have been the contract, because it does whatever within the contract. I don't know the exact details, but yeah, no, it's still just doing its thing, so it's doing really good. So I'll bring that up. Yeah, I'll get. Why not? Why not? I'll get the contract and I'll send it to my computer. So then I can bring it up on screen. I've got so many tabs open, it's just crazy. I have like 20, 30 tabs open just on this one browser, and then the other browser, well, I'll run about like 3 or 4 different sorts of browsers. Brave, Mozilla, that's Firefox, and then the Edge, and I don't know, something else. But yeah, I know, it just gets complicated, doesn't it? Like, it's but they all do their thing. So that's where that's why it ends up being where you just end up like that. We got lots and lots of stuff, but just copy that and paste it into the deck screener. Oh, I suppose I should do that. I know you can't see what I'm doing, but all I'm doing is looking up deck screener. Now, obviously, I'm not that proficient at doing this sort of stuff, but we'll give it a go. Share my screen. Right. Well, that's. I can put that onto one thing. That's Rev Token, where it's I'll put it onto days. This is on the day chart, and as you can see, it's just gone doing its thing. So, it'd be interesting to see when it does its how it goes for the moon, because it revs pretty good in a way that receiving some Matic as the reward mechanism. Like the new calf will be receiving Grove coin, but with Matic you receive with Rev token you receive Matic. I'm not not trying to force it down anyone's throat or anything like that. Of course, you make your own decisions because it is what it is. But yeah, no, it's just steadily bopping along, doing its thing. Their volume, albeit isn't that great, but it's just steadily doing its thing, and that's really, like a lot of people wouldn't be satisfied with $1,500, but to me, that's all right. It's just ticking along, doing its thing. Sure, it'd be great to have, $1 million volume or whatever. Like, yeah, of course. 10,000 volume, whatever, like, of course. But, it's just ticking along, doing its thing. Geez, I was about to use the word stable in crypto. It's just doing its thing. I tend to think that when you got volumes like this, it's just not getting that huge pump, which would help create a huge dump. I don't know. It'd be interesting to see. I'm always curious to see, how things play out. I know that, there's different different perspectives on it. I'll give him another rocket. There you go, because it looks like a rocket, doesn't it? Sideways rocket. Side to the right and up. That's what they keep saying. But like I'm proud of the guys. Like it's good. Like I was happy to have them on live stream talking about the Rev token and their different revenue streams and things that they're doing. Obviously, it's only really, really early days. I get all that. But yeah, don't know. It'll be just in this world of or space of just mixed up shit. It's nice to have something that's doing all right. So it'll be interesting to see how things progress. Of course, like hopefully it's it just gets respected, and I know that's a funny terminology. I get that, respecting the buys and the sells mainly, but like when you're sort of in a token, you just hope that you don't get like the massive whale dump. Like you just. I'm sure you understand what I'm saying, right? But yeah. Let's see if I can harass someone to join me. We get a lot of views. Thank you, Seifu Dad. It's awesome, mate. Gotta have someone. Obviously, I was all anticipation was and expectation was that Calf on Grove was going to launch last Wednesday. It just drives me nuts. Every time you bloody say that something's going to happen, then you sure as shit that it just comes to do a big turd on you. So, what do you do? It just is what it is. You just got to keep just moving forwards one way or another. It's just how it works. Yeah. Obviously, I wish that there was I could meet a timeline for a change. That would be nice. I seem to be able to do the unplanned thing, like when Calf had its liquidity stolen and I was able to get a new contract made and delivered. I was able to do that pretty quick, but it's just funny how things just work out. Like in this space, it's just amazing how, like, as much as you do stuff, that it just comes back just to give you the shits. I don't know. Like it's just unbelievable. But it's not going to make any difference. Life, such is life, Like, of course, markets go up, they go down, they go every other which way. So there's a bit of a hiatus for a bit longer. Yeah, whatever. It's just, unfortunately, it's just what it is. And you could say, well, at least the price isn't going down. Is that a good way to look at it? I don't know. It just is what it is. Like, obviously, yeah, I wish that I could just have shit done, but when you're at the mercy of others to do things, such is life. But the main thing is that that it's all just doing its thing. So we'll be there. Who likes the new name? I don't know, it sounds a bit weird, but I don't know. I sort of feel like it's all these sort of things are pushed upon us, and especially that I don't know, like I find it a bit awkward. Like I end up with two different mindsets on the whole process that's taken place with the ex-Vulcan thing. Is that, and I understand that someone had to do something, yes, but it happened to be the only conflict that I sort of have. Well, it's probably one of many conflicts if I think about it, but you get where you get a contractor who happens to be the one who is the only one that's allowed to and able to have communication with the CEO and the team or whatever to be able to formulate a path forward, and yet that contractor has a interest in both ways that it goes. success or failure, they've got a financial stake where they get the benefit because they're getting paid. And so I find it almost like patronizing, where you get someone with the ability to be in that position. I find that a little bit contentious, conflictual. I don't know, like it's just, I haven't quite worked it out. I don't know how else to, yeah, I know it's a funny sort of, if it works out, that's great. Yes, I get all that. But it just seems like, you know, it's almost like an authoritarian type thing where you got to accept the name and you got to, is there a way to get money back from Vulcan? The only way to get money back is that if the new blockchain is released and it isn't a failure, and they honor the sacrifices that people have made. In other words, the stolen funds. So already it's going to be responsible for a lot of funds that don't exist because those funds have been stolen. So it's just, I wouldn't want to be in that position of having a project that has already got commitments beyond itself. So it's bloody hard. Yeah. Yeah, no, well, at the moment it's sort of, I'm stuck because I made an announcement last week because it was set for, like with Grove, it was set for Wednesday, right? And it was like, yeah, all good and that. And then I went to deposit the liquidity into the Grove wallet from Calf. Since then, it's been transferred, so it's all done now. But the bloody transfer wouldn't go through, and I was trying different wallets, whatever. I was trying, and I talked to him about it, and I was apparently something with Binance Network. They were doing some forking or something, but it wasn't meant to stop transactions, so I don't know. But it seriously just did not work. So something to do with MetaMask or whatever. So it was I just came back the following day, and then lo and behold, it worked. Like, I wasn't complaining that it worked. It just, again, puts it back by a couple of days because with Grove, I've got Grove Binance, and that's got to be transferred to Grove to their coin for the LP pool. And at the moment, Grove being only small, they're doing it manually for those transactions from Grove to Grove. And just to make sure that all the processes are correct and there's no mistakes. And it like, apparently it takes them about 2 days to do that, which is not really that big a deal because it gives time to do other stuff anyway. But we just, that wasn't factored into the Wednesday thing, and they were trying to figure out for their own marketing team when to do the announcement for the Grove community for Calf to come across. And that was sort of set for Wednesday. And I was going to be in a mad rush doing all of the airdrops and stuff like that. But yeah, just one thing led to another, and that was the end of that. So we, well, I was told to me, well, essentially we're going to wait until next week now to talk to me further. And in the meantime, I can get the funds across and etc., which I managed to do now. And I asked them then to make a couple of changes to the contract, because with the deployment, I would rather the tax already be preset to 2%, where it's easy for the dev to do it, but when you're on the project owner point, like I am, essentially when you deploy a contract and then you got to do tax adjustments straight away, it's all well and good to do that. But the thing is, you got to learn how to do that on the new contract. And so if it was already preset at the 2% on launch, then I don't have to stress about having to do that. And that would be kind of handy, like I said to them, just dumb it down for a farmer so things just work, like from the moment that I press go, then things just work, and then I don't have to, make mistakes or try and learn extra stuff in that moment of time. So yeah, that's what they're changing on it now, is just making sure the tax set to 2% buy, 2% sell, and yeah, so that's happening. So that will be done as well for the beginning of next week. While we had this little bit of time, it was like, might as well do that. So yeah, what day in the week, I'm not sure, but I'm hoping by midweek we'll be transferring, doing the airdrops and setting the LP, and then yeah, away we go. But yeah, so that's what we're looking like at the moment anyway. So yeah, thanks a lot, Sophie Dad, for mentioning about that. But that's where we're at the moment. What happens to like NFT lines and stuff like that, I don't know at this stage, because we're still dealing with the fallout of Vulcan and whatever, and just don't know what the thing is going to be. We'll probably do something, but exactly what that is yet, I don't know. We're just going to have to cross that bridge in the coming weeks. That's all, because obviously I don't want to leave things just hanging out there in no man's land. Like to get things sorted and dealt and have a path and or direction, and it's a way I prefer to do it. But sometimes it's a challenge to get to that point. But yeah. So just seeing. Just seeing if I can stir anyone up to come and join me. But this is a time of day where I don't normally do live stream stuff. So, and of course, America's starting to go to sleep now. So I can only ask, what's the harm? I haven't really been, I haven't done any TikTok-y stuff or any content really, because I've been busy doing this little bit of building stuff. Because naturally it's winter where we are, and I had a hole in the side of the shed, and it's rather cold and drafty with a hole in the shed. So the sooner I could get that fixed, the better. So I've got that sorted now. So that's why I'm here, because now I can start doing other stuff a little bit more. So yeah, you just do what you do. Well, if anyone feels like asking questions or directing conversation, please just say so, because it looks like I've got 5 people. So, by all means, just please give us some sort of direction. I'm trying to see if I can just impromptu round someone up. I don't know, just do whatever and see whether anyone would turn up. But I mean, like to join me on live stream. That's all, because there might be something. I don't know. Not only try. But yeah, this space has obviously been pummeled a fair bit in recent times, but there is still some opportunities out there. Like, I firmly believe that, um, that calf has a future. We got a long way to go. Like, obviously, I wish that I didn't have the stealing of the LP and shit like that. I understand that. It's just so annoying. Yeah, so and it's good to see like projects like I'm seeing if I can get someone here. You never know, I might be able to. Oh, looks like I can. All right. Looks like I'm going to get a visitor. That's right. Oh, where the, there it is. Right. Try that. Um, let's see how we go. As I should have a visitor. Oh, I suppose I better put these things on because otherwise I won't hear anything. This stupid ear here just ringing like hell. All right. G'day.
What's going on, buddy? How are you?
Oh, geez. Oh, me sound. Sorry, hang on. Try it again. Try it again.
Yeah, how are you doing today?
Oh. Yeah, I'm not too bad. How are you?
Good, good. About ready to. I was about ready to
Yeah.
head to bed.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's that time of day over where you are, but no, I've been busy doing a bit of building stuff on our shed this last week, and it's just totally flogs the shit out of me.
No,
And that's why I haven't really been on live streams or anywhere really. So yeah, I just thought I'll do a bit of an impromptu sort of chat to,
yeah.
to see, yeah, and been sending out messages to different people to see if anyone will join me. So thank you very much for joining
Oh,
for
no problem. Anytime.
however long. So what's going on in the in the crypto sphere?
Well, I mean, last night we had Nick announced the name and the name of the blockchain and all that. We had Fowler. Fowler's been he's been making some NFTs and raffling them off.
Yeah,
That's fun. I love the NFTs. I mean, it's one of those things that with all the projects out there in DeFi and so many struggles that people have and everything, it's nice to have a project if you like NFTs and stuff that you get the NFT and you get the product, and you don't have to worry about any of the other stuff or anything like that. So, I mean, to me, I like NFTs. I don't know a whole lot about them, but um, you know, it is it to me. I think they're fun. They're fun. So
It all depends on what sort of, I know this famous word, whether it's what sort of utility that they have. So
mhm,
I know like Fowlers and um, Cosmic Space Force and that,
mhm.
to be integrated into their systems. So that's where the utility comes into it, where you might give you certain privileges or benefits or something by being a owner of whatever NFT.
Right.
Obviously the ones that I was doing, which was for essentially just a prize draw each week. So like it's just different ways of doing stuff. So yeah, it's just NFTs are a good way to be able to um, just it's just something different. That's all, where you can have
Well,
you
it's
know
like crowdfunding and stuff like that. I mean, if you put
it's,
it towards something, I mean, the way I see like Fowler's projects, and I think um, he takes the money and puts it towards creating a game and all that kind of stuff. I think that's great, and I think that'll be fun down the road for any kind of revenue sharing and all that. But I
yeah,
mean, I like the artwork and I like the product. It feels like I'm getting the product, so I'm happy. And if there's something turns into it later on and everything like that, great. That's awesome. There's a lot of people that, I mean, he makes something that's successful and he can share it with other people through some type of revenue sharing and everything like that. I think that's great. But me personally,
yeah.
I like the art, and if it turns into something great, but his F3 warriors and his commanders and stuff, the beginning series that he has, it's fun. It's fun to me. I like it.
Yeah, no, but that's right. That's where it's just a different thing, and it's good to have different things, because if we all just did the same thing, it would just be boring as batshit, wouldn't it? Like
Right, right.
it's just nice to have variety out there and people trying out different ideas and testing different things. And isn't that
Yeah,
the whole idea of the space? Is that you just
yeah, and I think
innovating and
but I think it's important
being
too. Is that
creative?
a lot of people they have like they have a tough time with a lot of the projects and stuff like that. So when you don't get like a product for your money, and then you're worried about, the price going up, down, all that kind of stuff, even on good projects and stuff. But, the NFTs to me are like, if you like that, you buy it, you got it, and it's in your wallet, you own it, you do what you want with it and all that kind of stuff. And you don't have to worry about the other part. So, you
Yeah.
know, and it's a good way to get yourself a little bit of a nest egg to start developing, you know, the product that you want to put to market. So,
The main thing I have with NFTs, or fundraising for that matter, is that essentially it's like crowdfunding with having to offer something in return, and you want to try and get the balance right within your protocol, not to be indebted too much.
mhm,
And so you've got to make sure that it's manageable and controllable. I know that sourcing revenue is super super important, because things just don't happen for free, of course.
right.
But at the same time, you don't want to have a massive mortgage hanging over your head, or massive commitments
Yeah,
which are just unattainable, and it puts downward pressure on your other projects, like for instance a token or whatever it might be. And
right.
that's where you've got to be careful with how you structure NFT stuff, so you don't essentially just stuff up the market for other, because there's just about everything you do in life has a reaction to whatever it is that you're doing, and that can be both good and bad. Um, but you've just got to take that into account. When that's why I haven't really done any other NFT type fundraising stuff, because you want to offer, and of course, like if they've got one that gives you access to game or whatever, that's a different thing again, where that could be a tangible thing that you get
Mhm.
for owning your NFT. It's not just always about money. Of course, it can give you access, it can give you, certain privileges or something that is worth you spending $1 on. But my main thing is that if you're going to do NFTs as fundraising and you're going to offer a return, like a return on investment, you've got to make sure that you're not doing it to the point where you can never repay it. You've got to make sure it's achievable, sustainable, and equitable, where like it's legitimate type stuff. And trying to get the balance can be difficult for some projects, because you see them. It seems to be all too easy to fundraise, but it's very difficult to sustain a ROI.
Yeah.
And that's where they end up making things too complex and having trouble. Hopefully, you understand what I'm saying, but
Oh yeah. Yeah.
but it's just, I don't want to be overly committed. It's like being mortgaged for $1 million, where I could just be mortgaged for $100,000. But a million might make it really, really tough to make repayments and stuff like that. But 100,000 might be easily achievable and
Mhm.
sustainable, and it doesn't put you under pressure as a project. I'm talking to offer or to deliver on promises. But
And
it's always a
that's
difficult
the
thing.
mentality that everybody needs to have in this space, is that they run around with so much, they put so much into the project, and they they give all these dreams and hopium and everything like that, and it's like, we got to get back to reality and everything like that. I mean, you can't these returns and rebases and stuff like that, these things are, they put pressure on your token. So
Yep.
it's a better fit if you start small and work your way up, and
I think
find a
you
reward.
definitely got to sort of take baby steps, and just
Yeah.
like for argument's sake, with the NFTs that caused the calves did. Um, Now that was purely based upon the rebasing mechanism of SafeOX or Vulcan,
Mhm.
right?
Right.
And there is no Vulcan, right? And that doesn't exist. Yes, we got sacrifices, but it still doesn't exist.
Right.
So technically those NFTs are, at this point still in hiatus. They're still waiting for the blockchain to produce, to fill the circle. So to close the loop, so you can actually start, generating its revenue so it can do its thing. Whatever that's worth is up to the blockchain. It's not for me. It's
Mhm.
whatever the returns were for the blockchain.
Right.
Um, but the thing is, for me, I feel that um, even though you're selling something which doesn't exist yet, and people take that risk, but for me personally, I take that as um, I want to deliver on that NFT regardless. And that's why I
Mhm.
did weekly draws for 27 or 28 weeks or something, of at least something, um, to hopefully give something back while we're waiting for the blockchain. But I had to put a pause to that because, with this latest fiasco, who knows? So we're just going to have
Mm.
to completely just rework it and see what happens. But because it's not indebted that much, I am talking about the possibility of even a refund mechanism on non-winning people and things like that. So like I don't want to just leave people high and dry with nothing. Like, if worst case scenario they can get their money back, then that's all right. You know, Obviously it's not ideal, but I can't help what happened to Vulcan or SafeUX.
Right.
Of course that's out of my control.
Well, you
But
have
if I
different
can,
investors than what you know
yeah,
some of the other projects that are out there. You have investors
oh
that are
yeah,
like, they want to see a successful calf token. They want to see
mm,
They see they've bought into what your plan is and what you want to do. You got
yeah,
educated investors in yours, and a lot of the other projects out there. They're like, I have no idea what's going on here, but it's the newest craze and
yeah,
stuff. And
yeah. Mine's my sort of things are less of a moonshotty sort of stuff. There's less degen stuff. So where it's more real. I don't know.
Mhm. Yeah,
It doesn't. It maybe isn't as much fun, as degen sort of stuff. But I don't want the degen sort of stuff. Like, yeah,
right.
people still do it. That's
I
great.
see a
Let's
lot of
do it.
correlation between what Fowler's doing with Gods of Gaming and what your situation is with calf, because I see like real world value in a lot of the things that you guys are doing. And I mean,
Yeah,
I think that those are different type of investors. What Gods and
yeah, I think
Gaming
so.
have right now with Fowler is you have a group of people. It might be small right now and stuff like that, but you have a group of people that are
Yeah.
just pretty much loyal to what
Mm.
what he's doing and stuff, and it'll grow over time depending on how much Fowler does to it. But if it ends, I think everybody's got their money's worth right now. I don't think anybody's got this hopium that I think they'd like to see a game come out and everything like that. And with Fowler and everything, I'm pretty sure the games are going to come out. So and what he's going to do, but at the same time, they're in it because of the structure that you guys have created right now. They're not out there going, I'm gonna be a millionaire. If I give you $1,000 a year from now, I'll be a millionaire. And it's like, no, that's not what this is about. This is about a lot of times it's like making the world a better place, especially with the stuff that you do and all that.
We
So
can we can only try. Like, it's just, it yeah, it's always a difficult sort of paradox when you got crypto and you're trying to do real life stuff, because it's so much of the crypto space is this degen sort of stuff
right.
where it's just it's a strange sort of um meeting where I don't know, it's just sometimes it just feels like it doesn't sort of belong, and that's why you go to the to hopefully we go to the refi blockchain sort of stuff, and hopefully that helps, makes it a better sort of fit. um I don't know. It's just the way it is, and that's where if it just tickles along and does its thing, well, that's good.
Yeah.
And if it offers something to a cause, well, all the better. Um, but I showed you the other day, Rev Token they've launched.
Hmm.
I'm gonna show you their chart for this last week or so that they've been trading for,
Oh yeah,
and
I'm actually a holder in Rev token. So
yeah, but that's still nice and steady, isn't it?
yeah, very nice looking.
And like, of course, we've all got these rocket ships,
Right.
um, but there's the one thing that's kind of weird is that really the sales aren't people selling yet. The community isn't interested in making sales. These are contractual sales. These are
Right.
different sort of. I don't know exactly how that worked, but Jared did explain it to me. But yeah, here and now, don't ask me, but I can certainly find the answer. But that's the contract doing its thing. But like, it's just steadily just ticking along. Like, I know the volume, it's not overly high as such, but it seems like it's. I know this sounds like a contradictory term, but it seems almost like controlled, and that's kind of like a good thing in my opinion, where it feels like it's not just a moonshotty type thing where it's going to end up with a big dump. It feels
Right.
like it's like, for argument's sake, there's no huge buyers, so there's no huge whales. There's no. I don't really foresee a big dump coming in. Sure, I'm sure it will take a turn at some point. You
Yeah.
know, every token does. Of course, it's we all want sales because we want that 10% tax too, don't we? Because you're building
Well,
your
I
magic.
think that I think the one thing that bothers me about I don't think it's necessarily the tokens, but some of the communities, they just want it to go up and to the right.
Yeah.
And
Oh yeah.
my
Yeah.
thing as a traditional trader, and where I come from, I like to see a healthy chart where there's a reasonable amount of taking profit.
Yeah.
There's a reasonable amount of, maybe a little bit of dump here and there just to
Yeah.
clean some things out and some things, but not like dumping like a rug or dumping
Yeah.
because
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
somebody
Yeah.
did, none of that.
Yeah.
Just a reasonable amount of buys and sells showing the chart is healthy. Because if it just goes up and to the right, eventually it's going to go down. And when
Uh,
it goes
yeah.
down, the more up and right it goes, the farther it's going to go when it goes
That
down. And that's
that's exactly what I was, because I talked to Jared a fair bit about this sort of stuff,
Mhm.
and obviously I've been through these price cycles a fair bit, and that's exactly right. The harder it, like I was saying, the harder it goes up, the harder it comes down.
Right,
Like
right.
it's amazing how it happens. But if you suddenly got a massive pump in there right now, you're going to get people that are going to be, even small bags become valuable that create a
Mhm.
big dump.
Right.
When you
Well, I
haven't
mean,
got a
it's natural for
massive
people to
LP.
want to take some profit, so they'll end up
Hmm.
taking profit, and then you get one taking profit, and then you start getting a red candle. Then people start getting from taking profit to getting nervous, and all
Yeah,
that. So you just want to see, hey, let it go up a little bit, get you a little bit of profit.
yeah,
If you can DCA in different spots, and you can
yeah.
do different things, yeah, work with it. But and a lot of people, a lot of the things I do is I'll buy into token that I like, and I'll just hold it. I don't really watch the chart or anything like that. I don't have I want to see what it does down the road and all that kind of stuff. And I mean that's the way I pretty much treated Seifu back then. Is I was just I had a bag that I would trade with. I had the three bags that I would trade with, and one bag that I just held. And my plan was, oh, let's see what they do into the future. So when the price was going down, if it wasn't rebasing, I don't think I'd ever be in it. But
Mm.
with it rebasing and all that, it was a little bit different for me. But with like Rev, the only thing I see with Rev, I just want to be a part of it, and there's no
Yeah.
need for me to sell, and I'll probably add to my position as we go along and stuff. But I just want to be a part of it, and I like Jared and the people. So I mean, you know some of the decisions that I make and stuff like that, they might not be what traditional investors would do, but it's part of like with Gods of Gaming, with with Calf, and with Rev, and a few other ones that are out there. I just want to be a part of it, and I want to be there and see what they go up to. And it's not about I don't need the profits, but I'd like to be in profit. But
Mm.
with that being said, it's not like I'm jumping ship. I want to see. I'm in it for the long haul on a lot of those.
Yeah, no, like it's hard on a project owner's point of view, in a way that the way that I view it, because you really want to be, um, like I don't really want an overhyped community. Yes, it's
Hmm.
wonderful that everyone, but personally, I don't want overhype. Like, to me, overhyped is not sustainable. You can't keep, like when you get projects like Sheba or Safe Moon or whatever it might be that have these massive hypes behind them, they can't, it's not sustainable. You can't just keep getting that hype to continue, because as people, obviously move their positions around, it's just not sustainable to just keep getting fresh money all of the time into a project. So I kind of personally prefer a bit less hype. Still, obviously, hype is important,
Hmm.
but
Yeah, it is.
I don't. But I don't really like overhype. If I know that sounds like a contradictory
Yeah.
term, but but it's got to be sustainable. It's got to be legitimate and equitable. It's got to be right. Where that balance is wherever it drops. Yes, I get that, where you don't have complete control over everything that you want. But to me, if the project is just like what I see with Rev Token, where it's just because they don't have the most massive of communities, but as it's just ticking along, it's doing a good thing, and I'm glad I'm a supporter of them, and I deal with them. I have close ties to them.
Mhm.
And at this stage, I'm of course I say at this stage because the chart's going up, but I don't mean it like that. But at this stage, I'm very happy to be with the guys and doing what they're doing.
Yeah,
Because
yeah. I mean,
I just
that,
think it's
but
good.
that I think that's the way that a lot of people feel in this community is that you know there's been so many abuses and stuff like that, just
Yeah,
ridiculous behaviors, and you
yeah,
see it so many different places in the community, and it makes you want to take a step back and everything like that. But I think the realization that the cream will rise to the top, that kind of thing, is we're starting to see that more and more with several projects that are out there that got caught up in some craziness. But and with this
yeah,
rev token, to me, my I mean, a lot of people, and this isn't financial advice, this
yeah,
is
yeah.
the
Of
way
course.
I
Yeah,
plan on doing it, is that I want to accumulate some, and I just want to hold. I want to watch this project as it goes. I mean, I have the expectation that I would never invest whatever if I'm not willing to lose it, and I don't want to lose it because I would feel bad for
yeah,
the project and the community that would
yeah,
be involved. But
yeah,
at the same
yeah.
time, I'm not looking for profits. I'm looking forward to seeing what they do and everything and what they
Yeah,
build.
it's more of a supportive type role,
Yeah,
a
yeah,
supporting
and
investor.
I'm
But
fine with that. Same thing like
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Fowler and I mean,
yeah,
I don't need
yeah, no,
NFTs. I don't need
yeah,
NFTs, but I like them. I feel like I'm getting something
yeah,
out of it and everything like that. And with
yeah.
Rev Token, I feel like, hey, I'm here. Early stages. Let's see what happens. But
Yeah, no, it'd be interesting to see how things go on. Like I like the approach and that sort
mhm.
of thing. And like I say, thank goodness for once we're getting things that aren't just fucking scammy shit. Like it's just like
Yeah,
good. It's just a nice feeling. And that's why I'm quite happy with a steady little volume. That it's just pleasant to be in a nice space over a longer period of time. Just make yourself feel good. Don't get stressed or hyped on this super hype and super pump and dumps. No, just chill, just take it steady and just enjoy the ride more. And don't, get back into just like enjoying life again from being beaten up,
right,
like
right. That's
that's
that's yeah,
that's that's the way I feel about it. Where I couldn't afford to put much into Rev. Like I only had one B&B, so I couldn't do much. But I did what I could, and that's what I did. Um, and like I'm proud to be a holder and an owner. Like, yes, it's
right.
great. But of course, like I've got to add to liquidity and that for calf. So I've got to be careful what I do. And
Not
we happen
true.
to be at the worst time of the year for myself. So financially, so I've got to be careful how I do things. So because there's no way I'm going to let calf go anywhere. It's going to do its thing and we'll be okay. It might be fast, might be slow. I don't know. We'll find out when we get to the new community and start doing some live streams and promotions and stuff like that and see what happens. You just never know. We're just going to test things out and hopefully it works out good, of course, because not trying to do things to make things worse.
Right.
Um, you know, but we'll just keep chin up and just keep moving forward. So that's all you can really do. Um, but yeah, I'll put the link to Grove in the chat there, Safi Dad. Um, so yeah, but that's yeah, no worries. Oh, Um, so yeah, I'm really impressed with what the guy's done. They would have joined me on live stream tonight or today, my time, but tonight where they are. But they're all gone to bed.
Yeah.
and Jared's up, but his phone's on storm power or something at the moment. He's got to save his um when geez, what's his name? He's apparently got storms or something where he is, so they've probably got power outages or something possible. So yeah, this fun of different people in different places of the world, isn't it? When we're all dealing with our own things. Like, yeah. So you're on the. So when you're looking that way, that's your charts, right? So you're
Yeah,
just
these
looking
are
at
these are my
charts.
charts.
Yeah. Are they doing the right thing for you today?
Yeah, well, most of the markets that I trade are closed, but
Oh,
you know, I have several open positions that I probably won't be looking at profit till later in next week. But so
crypto's opens 24/7.
well, I don't really like I said, my
Yeah,
crypto.
I know. I'm just
I have a
messing with you.
yeah, I have a few that I participate in and stuff like that, but
Yeah, yeah,
it's crypto is pretty much just a hobby for me. I don't
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
not
yeah,
that very
yeah.
smart at it and everything like that, and I'm the first couple of projects that I've been involved in have been just utter trash. So, you know,
Oh, fuck! It seems to be too easy to find that sort of shit in the
it
space, though, doesn't
is.
it?
It
Oh,
is.
funny! It just drives you nuts.
But
And
but
and
I
it,
can
and it,
say that the I have a lot to be thankful for of this the community, the people I've met and the things that I've done, the different projects that I enjoy. I mean, I enjoy these projects, like talking about CAF and Rev and Gods of Gaming and stuff like that. Those are fun things for me. I enjoy that because I know a lot of the people that are involved, and that makes me and I know those people, and they're not just shilling a gimmick or anything like that. They're talking about they want to do good things and stuff. So I enjoy it.
that's what I was about to ask you. What do you think about you know how you've obviously been around the space for a while now, and you've obviously been a lot of your trading on the other stock markets and that, right?
Yep.
But how you were just saying how you get to see the people in it, when you see the struggles and the endurance, the commitments that projects are putting into the space, considering the adversities of different situations that have happened, does that sort of give you some sort of hope on the projects and shit that you're looking at, like
Yeah,
within our
yeah,
little
I do. I
space?
do.
Like,
And but the problem that we have in DeFi is that the voices that mess things up for DeFi are the loudest. So you have scammers out there left and right doing terrible, terrible things to their community.
yep.
And you know, and I truly think like NFTs can save DeFi because of the fact that people can come in and you can get a product in your hand. You're done, the sale's done, whatever, you don't have to worry about it. And you might find a couple of decent projects out there where I'm not expecting, millions overnight in crypto. I'd like to be a part of a project that they got a future down the road. And I'm not looking for, you know, these astronomical, rebases and all that kind of stuff. Rebases are neat. I prefer maybe like reflections of some type, where you get a little bit of maybe some tax, maybe or something like that. Maybe have like a couple percent of the tax gets reflected back to, holders. You got to hold for like maybe at least a week and you get, something like that. But other than that, I don't want any gimmicks. I don't want any special
But that's
things.
why, with the new calf and Rev's the same as well, where they're
Hmm.
doing rewards. So in other words,
Right.
it's not paid in the native token; it's given out in something else. And but for the new calf, it's just 2% buy, 2% sell tax, and
Hmm.
100% of that goes to rewards in Growth Coin. So you get a different product than the one which you're invested in, but that
Well,
just means that
wouldn't
you
you
don't
need
get sell
to?
pressure.
But wouldn't you want to keep a little bit, of those taxes just to,
No,
how
because
much?
I do. I do. The
Oh,
Treasury has its the Treasury's like 23% or something at the moment.
mhm.
And so of course that gets a chunk of the rewards just the same.
Oh, okay, okay, all
Yeah.
right.
So
I see it.
so you know technically in the contract I am able to do make the contract do the LP ads and etc. itself, and burns and that, all those facilities are still within the new calf contract. They're just not turned on. Because there's no need for it. The reason why I don't want to have contractual LP ads is that when the contract does it, it burns the LP tokens, and you can't ever retrieve that LP. So technically, it's good because it means that your project can't ever rug, but you can't access those LP tokens. So like the liquidity was extracted out of the Calf V2 on Binance. But there was $95 or something that I couldn't extract because that's the LP tokens that have been burnt. And that's why I switched to doing automatic LP ads to manual LP ads. And so I changed the tax allocation. So it was going to a treasury wallet, and then I could do manual LP ads of those reflections. But that's what, because that one is reflections because it gets paid in a native token. But I did the new contract to pay out in the blockchain coin, because then I don't get red candles selling down to do the LP ads. Even if it was a contract doing it, you'd still get red candles.
Oh yeah.
And this way here, for instance, half of the grove would get sold to buy calf, which makes a green candle, and then you add LP. So, like there's no red candle pressure from the contract side of things to do any of its actions. And plus the rewards are paid out in a different coin, and so they get the negative pressure, we don't. So, that's good for calf again, like what Rev is doing, how theirs is Matic. It doesn't put that downward pressure on their native token. So it's good like that. Obviously there's no perfect thing, but really that's probably about as perfect as you can get, is to pay it out in something other than your native token.
Right.
And hopefully you pick something that's not too volatile, and that's why I was hoping that the blockchain coin might be, at the moment they're going through their price struggles, yes, but that's because it's a developing block. Vulcan, or whatever the new name is going to find the same things. It's going to be a challenge. There's going to be price pressures upon their native coin. That's just the way it works. They're going to have their issues and have to deal with it. Launch projects, get the volume, etc., to get the pressure on their coin, to get the prices stable and going good. But that's just the way it works. But it's just the way you've got to. At least the rewards are in the blockchain coin, not in the native token. That's the reason why I did that. So yeah, you can only try these things, but I'm definitely doing manual LP ads, not automatic LP ads, because the automatic ones, like I said, it burns the LP tokens and you can never touch them again. And that's just such a pain. If you ever got to migrate or whatever you want to do, you can't touch it. Like, how annoying is that? It's like that $90 that got left in the Calf V2. There's just nothing I can do about it. But I might be doing something with that contract yet, so we'll just watch this space, see what happens. So yeah. Anyway, it sounds like I've got to do my Father's Day thing and be a father.
Well, that sounds like a lot of fun, buddy.
Because I'm getting told.
Oh.
My kids are saying they want to take me out for a drive or something, so we're going to go down the beach or something. I think on a wintry day out there. It looks bright and sunny, but it's rather cold and wintry.
It's weird too, because to talk to you about that, and it was 90 degrees here today.
Yeah, no, it's rather cold, and and to top it off, because we got water tanks and stuff, and I went out there to switch the water tank so I could catch the more rainwater, and because I got vertigo all the time. And if you can Google this if you like, but anyone that's had a acoustic neuroma and you had your vestibular removed by the nerve, and so that's your balance. in your head. And so I get vertigo most of the time, but it gets excessive at certain times. But also that I've got drop foot because the muscles in my leg don't work. I tripped up, and then not only did I trip up, I landed in a bloody big puddle of water. So it's like, oh, bloody hell. Like I was soaking wet, and I was like, yeah, great. And it's just like life just loves me, like I try and do something simple, and then you just, yeah, like about once a week I go for a good fall, and there's just nothing you can do about it. It's just what happens.
Yeah.
It's just such is life now. And yeah, it just bloody hurts. But yeah, that's at least you can laugh about it afterwards. Like it's just, but of all things, that land in this bloody big puddle, and it was like, yeah, great.
You poor guy.
Yeah, you'd never do it if you were normal, like didn't have the brain shit going on. You'd be just fine. But for me, it's just like you lose your balance or you trip up on something and you end up going, wee, you're gone. You can't save yourself. You just you crash. So whatever's in your way, that's it. It's gone. And that's why they say, don't get up ladders and stuff. But I've been doing a little bit of ladder work. But
well, you got to be careful though.
I know. Yeah, the doctors tell me off if I go on ladders. But yeah, well, you got to still live your life. But yeah, it's just the challenges that people have. Such is life. Anyway, Chris, you're tired and I need to go and do Father's Day stuff. Thank you very much for calling in, Chris. Thank you.
All right, buddy.
Yeah, it's been
Happy
good to
Father's
see you.
Day.
Thank you. Cheers.
Bye.
Take care. See you later, everyone. I'm going to get this right. Thank you very much for watching. Hopefully you like. Any other questions, just send me a message on Discord. Thank you very much. See you later. Love you all. Take care. Happy Father's Day to everyone in Australia because it's Father's Day. And all the best. Take care. See ya.